So the tough part sometimes about summertime is as it gets really hot, sometimes maybe we haven't watered our pots maybe as much as we should have, our summer colors start to look a little bit bland. The best part about garden centers late in the season is the plants that are coming in are much larger than the plants we may have started with. Big, lush salvias, big, beautiful pink zinnias. All of the larger plants that are now available late in the season for some great annual color make it a fantastic way for you to add these into your pots to make sure you have plenty of really great summer hot color. So the pots and all of the gardens that you have don't lackluster, but sparkle and have lots of color. Don't hesitate to pull out those plants that don't look so great anymore. You have lots of weeks left of summertime, and we want to make sure those gardens look as spectacular as possible. What's really difficult about summer is not only where our plants get beaten up in the summer sun by the winds and the hail, but sometimes we also have a problem with pesky critters in the garden, whether it be rabbits or deer. So visit me over on this side of the garden. We're going to take a look at some plants that you can plant in the garden that those pests are not going to want to eat. So join me over here. So the best thing about gardening is there's always going to be lots of options. And even though you may have rabbits and deer that want to come into the garden, the best thing about a good independent garden center is they're well aware of the fact that we deal with these pests all the time. Down here in Castle Rock at my garden center, we have them running rampant around the lot. But we've also had to learn by trial and error that there's a lot of varieties of plants that rabbits and deers don't simply like. Not only can you have things like beautiful morning glories and geraniums for annuals in your garden, but it extends into all sorts of perennials, whether you're going to have campanilla or some of the ground covers available or coreopsis. Lots of available options to you to have color in your garden all season long, even though those pesky animals are going to come in there. We have lots of varieties they don't like to eat. One of my favorites, the most popular, are going to be some of the echinacеas and some of the daisies, even the bee balm. But it's not limited just to annuals and perennials, the plants that the deer and rabbits aren't going to like. There's lots of varieties of shrubs as well. Whether it be some of the Russian sage or the sumac or some of the varieties of pine trees, we have lots of plants available to you that you can find that will survive in a garden, thrive in the garden, provide lots of great color, and the animals are not going to want to eat. Now there's lots of varieties, and we don't have time today to give you a complete list of all of these, so we're going to make that list available for you on our website. So make sure to go to digincolorado.com for a complete list of plants that you can find at any independent garden center that will thrive in a garden, even though those rabbits and deer want to munch a little bit in the garden. These are the varieties of plants that will be resistant to them. There's no guarantees. If in fact, though, you find that you just can't have any success, there are products that are going to be available as repellents in the garden centers. Look for varieties of urine or products like liquid fence that help deter rabbits and deer from the garden. So if your plant choices don't work, there are other options. They're in the backyard, they're not going to go away. So this is the best way for us to succeed in the garden with them and living in harmony.